Hey guys, thanks heaps for coming back and watching another vid, really appreciate it. This one, I filmed this probably about 4 or 5 months ago actually. It was still winter. It's 2 different days, 2 spearing days with the boys, but it's a really good watch. Finally speared a fish that I've wanted to spear for a long time. Been out there before and been targeting them with my fishing rod and had spearos swimming around me. I got so annoyed at them, but now being in the water with them, I can see what it's all about. So finally get one of them and it's a good one. And then there's also another day after, so it's split into 2. There's a heap of action in this one, eh? There's some good fish, there's some crays, there's some big fish, and there's some big sharks, and a really close call with a shark with my mate. So have a watch, let us know what you reckon. Hope you enjoy it, let it rip. Sorry to pause the video there, guys, but 'tis the festive season, and have I got a giveaway for you. This giveaway kicked off on November the 23rd at 6 p.m. Entries will close on December the 16th at 6 p.m. and the winners will be drawn, 4 of them, on the 17th of November at 6 p.m. 4th place prize is that epic little 12-volt companion lithium shower that you've seen on our videos and the 40-litre poly footwell water tank that you've also seen on our videos. 3rd place prize is the First Light Fabrication push lock products, the dispatch kit, the controller kit, the cup holders that hold the big stainless coolers, and the boat buckles that you've seen go viral on our Instagram and Facebook. 2nd prize is from Hot Tackle, and that is a Daiwa Certate 10,000, which is an insanely good little reel valued at $850. And 1st prize is right here behind me, and that is a wheels and tyre package from Tyre Power Ingham and King Wheels, which means you can go on either of their websites and choose whatever tyre, whatever size, whatever wheel, whatever size, anything you want off their websites, and we will ship it straight to your door. So if you want a set of 35-inch mud terrain Toyos matched with a pair of Snatch King wheels, they're yours. If you want a set of Goodyear Wrangler Duratrax with some Hurricane 2s, they're yours. Anything you want off those websites, you choose, we send them. You'll have it all in time for Christmas. There's something for everyone in this giveaway, guys. We're a small family-owned business. We've got 4 epic prizes. Your chances have never been so good. Head over to outerline.com.au, buy anything off our website, and you're in the draw. Every $20 you spend is another entry. Easy as that, guys. Thanks heaps for the support. Merry Christmas, and have a bloody ripper holiday. Winter and 6 o'clock in the morning, blowing 15 knots southwest. That's what we live for, eh, Pete?
Absolutely.
Alright guys, here we go. Middle of winter, freezing cold, 6 in the morning, blowing its ass off, straight into deep blue. Something a little bit eerie about this, but everything's pretty much forgotten when you see this in front of you. Although a lot of smaller fish, they are still legal, but we were chasing something a little bit bigger today. First time I'd ever seen dollies under the water. It was so cool. But it's actually tricky to spear because you got to hover around that 2 meter mark. Here, I let go. One of the worst shots I've ever done in my life. But anyway, there's plenty of fish, so I'd definitely get a second chance. But like I was saying, it's a little bit tricky to shoot them. You got to hover around that 2 to 3 meter mark without sinking and without floating. Try to stay a little bit still so you can coax them in close enough. And the hard part is choosing one to actually shoot because there's about 100 in front of you. It would literally be easier to shoot one. But anyway, it wasn't too long before I seen this nice sized fish come in from the back. Literally, it was the only one in the whole pack. Here he comes making his way through now. At least twice the size of all the others. I pulled the trigger and far out, you could just hear the line peeling off my reel. Now, knowing a little bit about mahi, I knew that they have quite soft skin, and I'd seen that I'd shot it in the belly, so I didn't want to play it too hard at all. I let him take quite a bit of line, try and tire him out, and then pull myself in towards him. And like I said, I knew that belly shot was in there and I didn't like it. So I was trying to get Pete's attention to get a second shot put in. But Pete, being a very experienced spear fisherman, he was all over it. Here I was trying to wave him over to let him know that I needed a second shot, but he already knew. So anyway, I was carrying on like a bit of a pork chop there. Second shot, Pete, second shot. Mate, it was all over it. This thing was towing me through the water for about 5 or 6 minutes, no joke. Like, the fight went for a lot longer. I just cut a lot out in the video because, well, people get bored easy. Still going on to Pete about a second shot. Anyway, here he goes, swimming up, swimming closer, and the current was actually hauling us back towards us, and the fish was using the current to its advantage to try and stay away, which was doing a great job. But there you go, Pete's nailed him straight through the head. And up here you can see my shot, look at that. Look there. I was quite lucky to get him actually. But there you go, my first Dorado, or mahi-mahi, or dolphin fish. Rightio, first dolly. So there's heaps of small ones around. I was like just about to pull the trigger on a small one. This fella come in from the back. Have a look. Fastest growing fish in the sea. Look at that, probably one of the most beautiful, eh boys? Yeah. That's my first dolly ever. We were tangled up everywhere, left, right and centre. It was all around me. It was a shit shot too. That's my shot in the bottom of his belly. Lucky Pete was there, come put a second one straight through the head. We had him then, so that's awesome.
Well done. Let's do it again.
Yep. Hey guys, this is the Ultra X rooftop tent by Camp Boss. We bloody love it. Let me show you why. One of my favourite features is this scissor on the front end, which allows another 300 or 400 mil of headroom just up that end. Next is the extension here, which is super easy to set up. Push forward and lock it in, easy as. Right, the awning allows for uninterrupted views straight out the back and sides of your rooftop, but it also protects you from a hell of a lot of rain. We got 12 volt power inside. We got 6 windows and one at your head, which allows maximum airflow. We've got storage for your iPad and clothes, and we got strip lighting all the way around, which is dimmable. Rightio, another thing I love is this easy access ladder, which gives you an entry to all 3 sides of the rooftop. You can see how windy it is here today, and she's as solid as houses. Rightio guys, that's the Ultra X rooftop tent by Camp Boss. We bloody love it. Head over to the website, campboss.com. They've got a whole range there. Use the code OUTERLINE10 for a discount site-wide. Cheers. Now, for years, I used to give these fish away because I'm a pretty fussy fish eater. I didn't like the colour of their flesh, but after actually eating it, it's delicious. So if you ever are like me and silly and giving away your mahi-mahi because you don't think they're going to be nice, they're actually really, really good eating. So we decided to move in a little bit closer. Okay, so I'd heard about this spot from Pete and Mick to dive. They love diving at a lot of pelagics there, but there's a lot of sharks. They said pretty much guaranteed you're going to see a shark. First thing, Mickey jumps in. He says, far out, it's sharky. I looked at Pete and said, should I jump in? He said, yep, righto, jump in. I jumped in and this is what I saw. You can't see them all at once, but there was 5 big sharks below me. 4 bull sharks and 1 whaler. The bull sharks were more the ones I was worried about, but this whaler just had it in for me. Seriously, it come straight past the bully and just beelined straight at me. Most of you are probably having a good old laugh at me there thinking I'm a wuss, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty daunting when you're in that position and there's just sharks everywhere. And after this, the bull sharks started to make their way up through the water column even closer to me as well. So I got the hell out of there. I'm out. There's 4 of them. This fella, he's still following me even when I nearly got in the boat. Coming right up near us. They're everywhere.
Are they looking aggressive?
Well, one come up right near me and turned down. All right, so obviously we've moved in shallower here. I jumped in, the boys said, we do see a few sharks here. Straight away, yeah, that was, I was like, I'm out. There's maybe 5 sharks, a few big bull sharks, and that bronzy looked a little bit too keen. Coming up and having a bit of a buzz at me and stuff like that. That's my first time I've sort of had sharks do that. So anyway, I was like, nah, I'm gonna get out. The boys are just having one more jump in, but yeah, the sharks are pretty crazy. The boys are just seen a couple of wahoo here, trying to hide the camera out of the wind a little bit. Mate, if we can get one of them, happy days. Yeah, Mickey's saying one of them was really big. And Pete caught the bugger on camera. How good's this? Nice big wahoo here, but just couldn't get close enough to take a shot. If I remember correctly, and it must have been around this point here, said I probably should have took the shot, but you really want to get a good shot on wahoo because they will spool you in about 3 seconds flat and you're in for a fight, especially when they're pretty big like this. Anyway, that fella got to swim away. We moved a little bit closer in towards the island here and we started spearing around Middle Reef. So for any of you local guys, this is what Middle Reef looks like underneath the water. Sometimes you can get some really good fish here, but today she was a little bit quiet. Just making dives and seeing what we could see, which wasn't much. I seen this nice little Spanish, but he was clearly undersized. But still pretty cool seeing like little Spanish like that swimming through the water. Taking a dive here, and I remember thinking, I want to go down and just grab onto that bit of coral and just chill. Something about a guy back at Adreno said to me, if you can get yourself grounded, your hand onto the coral. Oh, hang on, stop the story. Got a little purple tusky here, got a good shot on him. Beautiful eating those fellas. But anyway, if you can get to the bottom and get your hand onto the coral and hold on, you can hold your breath for longer. Something about having your hand on the ground just makes you relax more. So we even tried deploying the flasher there, as you can see, but it didn't really work. So we moved a little bit further north to some weed grounds that I catch a lot of big snapper off sometimes. This is Pete here, made a dive down and got a really nice sized gold spot. Again, really nice eating fish, this one. Fortunately, there were no snapper around that area, so we moved to another little area here, and this cod tries to bully Pete. As he does, Pete always sort of skewers these fellas ready for the barbecue. Look at that. In the mouth usually comes out the tail. No, it did come out the tail. There you go. Good shot, Pete. Right in the bloody eyeball. But cod are absolutely delicious, and this one fed pretty much all of us. Okay, so new area. First time diving this area. I've wanted to dive it for a long time. Never really have. So today we thought we would, and I tell you what, we got a bit of a surprise. You wouldn't really think to dive around here, and it's quite deep, and I can't really make the bottom. So I made this dive, and I spotted a couple of really nice tusk fish. I couldn't believe it. Like, they were between 4 and 8 kilo, and I'd literally not even hit the bottom. Still had another 6 or 7 meters to go here. Looking back at the video, I probably should have just tried to lean down a bit more and shoot that one, but I like to be careful. So I went up, me and Mickey were in the water. Then I said to Pete, you got to jump in, mate. Pete can dive the deepest out of us all, and he can get a bit of bottom time in there. So down he goes, and this is what he's seen. Just tuskies everywhere. Some really good size one, like that one in the back. Pete was calling that one around 10 kilos. Look at that, just missed him. But that's pretty cool. 5 or 6 tuskies there on the first dive.
What was it?
I seen a tenner.
Told you.
I seen a tenner.
I told ya.
I'm gonna put in some more of them. One big one. There's one with a manky head on it.
Yeah.
Right at the bottom there.
I found it on you.
So Pete did one more dive here, breathed up really well, dove down again, and it wasn't long before these fellas come and said g'day again. And always hiding right on the rocks, eh? They hang out on the sand a lot, these guys. You just need to have the breath hold to let them come up to you, which he did. Nice, another nice cod scooting away there. Rightio, that was the first step. Pretty stoked to get that dolphin fish, eh? Like, it's so daunting jumping into the water in the middle of nowhere and just having those things all around you is cool to see, but it is quite daunting actually not being able to see the bottom and just blue around you. It's funny because you feel like you got no viz until you actually see a fish and you're like, oh, I can see 20 meters away. So anyway, enjoy this next bit, guys, and let me know what you reckon in the comments about the sharks. Should we be diving that sort of water? Should we not? I really want to hear. Cheers. This is the first time I'd had 5 blokes on my boat with a whole heap of spearing gear. So it was interesting to see how the boat would go and how much fuel it used. Look at Elton John on board here. Sing us a song.
There's a 10K trip!
Alright, I'm about to deploy my floating fish killers. Look at them. The boat's full of fish killers. We've got a bit of a party going on here, don't we? Eh? 4 big sea lions and turtles. I got 1 sea lion and 3 turtles.
Who's the sea lion?
We're out. It's been a long time since we've been spearing. We haven't been in the water since the Swains Reef, which was a while ago now, so we're all pretty excited. I'm going boaty first, but the boys are going to jump in, have a look for Spanish, big kingy, maybe there's some snapper down here, there's all sorts of stuff down here, so hopefully we can do that. We might even have a fish today. We're going to chase some crayfish, might even do a bit of a cook. It's a beautiful day out here, we're all frothing. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Righty, I've just dropped the boys in the water. It's pretty cool, there's 5 of us today. Yeah, we don't often get to all dive together because of work, but it's school holidays at the moment. Look at that. School holidays at the moment. So Breno's a school teacher, Millie works for the council, so he's got an RDO, so it's all lined up. Hopefully it's a good day. Hopefully the viz is all right. I don't feel like I'm going to dive very good today. I'm not the fittest I've ever been at the moment, that's for sure. I've been indulging in a couple of beers, which we all do that, but I'm going to crack into it soon, and I might even try and drop a live bait jig or something down, see if I can get something. I can hear the boys saying something about an amberjack, but I don't think they got anything. I'm just sitting here using a little vibe. We're only in 26 metres here, but there's not a lot of fish showing on the sounder. I think we're about 4 days after the moon. Not ideal at all, but whatever. All right, here's Pete. We just had the flasher deployed, so we're trying to coax in a few top-dwelling fish here. What are they called again? Bloody pelagics, that's it. Anyway, there you go. Boom. Straight away, Pete's got a nice kingy. Turns out this fella had a heap of worms in him. We were going to have him for lunch, but after cutting him open, everyone was like, ugh. Anyway, you can see some burley here. There was no current, no run, no fun. Once again, very quiet fish-wise around this area. You see another kingy here. Pete lines him up, and as he's done a few times in our vids, Bussa forgets to load the gun. Love it. Anyway, you can see the burley working a treat there, and the kingy just coming right in near Pete and eating some of that flesh. Well, the boys are back there diving. Beautiful conditions. I'm just trolling the lure around to see if we can pick up a little Spanish or something like that, but even a little bit of bait, because if the viz is crap in there, we bought some rods to go for a fish as well. That's the thing with diving, if the visibility's crap, what do? You know, so always bring some fishing rods, get a good backup there. But if it was choppy, I most definitely wouldn't be doing this, because you can lose your mates real easy. But they're only sort of 80 to 100 meters away from me. I can see them very clearly. Not much current, really, really nice conditions. And you never know, could get a Spanish. All right, this is Mr. Borgie, Mr. Michael Borg. He's having a dive down a little bit deeper. Spooky bottom here, all really long kelp, but very fishy. He spots a couple of big spangles you can see here. He's like, oh yeah, well, hang on. No, bigger one at the back. It's funny, all the bigger fish seem to hang towards the back of the pack. But anyway, he shoots him here. It's a good sized Spangled Emperor, and they put up one hell of a fight. But that one pulled off somehow. They taste like thongs anyway, so that doesn't really matter. Alright, we gonna leave there. That was like pretty quiet. Pete shot a kingy, Breno shot an amberjack.
That's lunch.
That was dismal, real quiet, eh? Like, we seen a couple more kingies, well, I didn't see it. Oh, did you get that on camera?
Yeah.
Nicky shot that Spango. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna change that up. Hopefully the viz is alright. Alright, we've pulled up at a bit of a patch here, and the visibility actually looks pretty good. There's a rock there. You can see my anchor down there. Yep, that's alright. It's always a relief when you get here and the viz is good, eh?
Oh, definitely. I think we're gonna make some crates.
Hopefully.
Yep.
Alright, here we go. And the first thing we seen when we jumped in was a truckload of bait. Have a look how it moves. Slow motion. How cool does that look? They always work as a pack from predators and stuff, and mate, I'll tell you what, if there's a predator within them, he finds it very hard to get any. So they work as a pack, but as soon as one goes anywhere out of that pack, they're gone. You can see here a cool turtle just chilling out. Here's Mickey. You got a nice Maori cod here. If you've ever eaten Maori cod, you know how delicious they are, but this one looks legal, but it's almost on that borderline where you're like, is it, and do I shoot it? No, I don't want to risk it. So he got to swim away. But here you see him line up this nice purple tusky, and as I was saying earlier in the video, they are absolutely delicious eating. This is where we like to come and have a look for some crayfish. You've got to look for the cracks in the rocks or caves. Breno is a bit of a master cray finder here. So this is me having a scoot around, and I look over the back of this rock here and I see a few feelers hanging out. So I went back up, told the boys they're down here. When Breno went down, he went down the back of the rock, had a look up this crack, and he said there's more hiding up the back of the crack there. So I had to dive here. I still couldn't see him. This is how much you've got to look for crays. I'm learning and learning every time we go out. Really had to look down and back up under that ledge.
Do you mean through the big long crack in the middle of the rocks? You can see one feeler.
So I did another dive down, breathed up really well like you have to with crays, and I was more confident on where I was going to look. It's almost like they'd right up here at the top of this shelf here, there was a few hiding. This is where this little gun comes in. It's a great little 800 I got from North Stradbroke Island. One breath diving. It's such a handy little gun for shooting crays. But anyway, it was a great sized crayfish. Me and Sez love eating them with panko crumbs, parmesan, and a bit of, not spinach, what's that green stuff called? Anyway, here I was just coming up, did something funny on my way up. Breno laughed. You can see the bubbles come out there. Breno had left his gun there for Mickey, so you can see here, Mickey's already dove way down this deep, realises I've got my gun set too powerful for crayfish, so he has the breath hold there to release his rubber, hook it onto a less powerful one and shoot the cray. But the cray darts out the other side of the rock. Mick hasn't got the breath there to pull him through and does a safe thing, doesn't try and push it, just comes straight back up. But that's what we're up there for, to get that cray for him. Anyway, you wouldn't have thought it when you first looked at this rock. There was heaps of crays all around it, nooks and crannies everywhere, and Breno had spotted another one here. He spoon-fed me a few, the big fella, thanks mate. But you can see here, you've still got a fair bit of work to do, and again that little 800 gun getting in there really well. Hiding right down in that crack there. Now at the back of the rock, I did another dive, spotted a really big cray. He almost come out, you can see down the bottom here. He comes out, he's like, almost like he wanted to get shot. So I shot him, but I was a bit bummed out about this. Nearly got him out. I must have just nipped him on the bottom or something like that. You can see another cray hiding up at the top of the roof there. I love chasing crays. It's hard diving because you're up and down all the time, but I love it. We tried a little spot of snapper fishing too on our way to another spot, but turns out they don't like kingfish with worms in it. We're all getting a little bit older here, and the boys can actually have a bit of a nap on the way between spots. Tried to get Mick to pick Pete's nose, but he was all over it. All right, so a little bit further away, we did a dive at a spot that we love, but for some reason the viz was actually really crap here, and there's a fair bit of current, which made it a lot better. You've seen this spot on some videos before. We love diving it. There's a lot of black spot tuskfish that hold on this spot between sort of 4 and 6 kilo. It's great to go and get a couple, but we had 5 guys on board, so we needed more food than what we had. This is always a reliable spot for that, so we only ever take a couple, so it remains a good spot for years to come. You can see it here. If you can make it to the bottom, you're going to shoot a fish. Very eerie around this area. It's quite sharky, a little bit dirty, fair bit of current. As you'll see here, I would not want to have been in Pete's shoes. Diving down, not knowing where the structure is, not knowing where you are, not being able to see far in front of your face at all. Imagine hitting the bottom, realising you don't know where you are. Turn around, and there's a big Noah. You wouldn't have even known he was there. Fins down, everything, looking quite aggressive. Tell you what, I would have shat my pants and flew out of the water that quick. We started to make our way back in towards the bay, but we thought we'd just dive a wreck in the bar and just have a look how it was. But tell you what, it was so sanded up, it was nearly unrecognisable. I've never seen it like that before. So here we're back inside the bay at one of our favourite areas. Very hit and miss, but when it's on here. You see Pete, and if you look to your left, just over the back of this log here, you'll see a whole heap of dewies. Really nice school-sized dewies, beautiful eating. Pete nails one right there. And then you'll see Mick come down in the same area and nail a nice grass tusky. But would you believe it? Pete has a brand new GoPro 12. Mick has a GoPro 5 from about 10 years ago. And the GoPro 5 footage is clearer than the 12. We don't know why or how it happens, but it happens. Anyway, there's 2 big blubber lip right there. Good seeing them. You always know there's other fish around when you see those fellas, but Mick got a nice purple tusky there, or grass tusky. Tusky! The one more thing I'll leave you with, guys, is this thing right here. I've had it for a couple of months, trialing it out now. They are now for sale through First Light Fabrication. It's a spear gun holder. It can hold 4 sets of fins, 4 guns, 4 goggles. It fits nearly every boat. Don't have side pockets, you can fit it elsewhere in your boat, but it just literally just lifts over your side pockets, you tighten them up. You got a discount code OUTERLINE10 if you want to get anything from First Light Fabrication store wide, including their push lock products and all that sort of stuff. But these spear gun racks are bloody awesome. All right, there you go, guys. Thanks heaps for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Mate, those sharks, I tell you what, Moreton Bay, murky water and sharks, just the feeling when you're under there. Pete just took it like, just doesn't even faze him. I would have been like straight back up to the top so quick. But anyway, I guess that's why they usually come for me. I reckon they can sense me being worried, and they want me. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I just want to say a massive thank you to all our patrons. You guys are bloody awesome. We really appreciate all the support you give us, and our sponsors, awesome companies, guys. We're very lucky to work with such awesome companies and awesome people, and I love showcasing their products. So if anyone likes any of the products from any of the sponsors that we promote on the show, guarantee you're going to be happy. So thank you to all the sponsors, and thank you to all the Patreons, and thanks to all you guys for watching our shows. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next week.